Hello, my name's Natalie Packer and I'm a SEND consultant working with schools and trusts across the UK and internationally to support effective leadership of SEND. One of the challenges that many mainstream schools are currently facing in the UK is an increase in the overall number of pupils attending their school with quite complex needs. And we know that this is because of the overall rise in the numbers of pupils identified with SEND, and also because of a lack of special school places in many local authorities. So special schools are full. This means that many mainstream schools are now educating pupils who require a much more personalised curriculum and need a level of support and provision which is significantly above and beyond what they're used to delivering for the majority of pupils. So this is why many leaders are now developing or considering developing some sort of specialist provision. So this might be designated provision, which is developed in partnership with the local authority in the form of a unit or resource provision. Or it could be undesignated provision, which the schools decided to develop internally. So, for example, a nurture unit or a SEND hub. And this sort of provision can work really well for some pupils and for some schools. And it's a form of provision that the Labour government are looking to promote and encourage more schools to develop over the next few years. One of the challenges of developing this sort of provision, however, is that there's very little national guidance that exemplifies what a high quality specialist provision should look like. So with that in mind, I've recently worked with two colleagues from Tees Valley Education Trust and Impact Trust, who are both very knowledgeable SEND leaders and have experience in developing and leading specialist provisions within mainstream schools. And we've put together a self-evaluation framework to support school leaders to reflect on the quality of their provision. So this framework is now available within the EvaluateMySchool or EMS system, and it considers 5 key areas of high quality specialist provision. So these are leadership and management, environment, knowledge of pupils, assessment and outcomes, curriculum, teaching and learning, and then wider provision and partnerships. And within each of the sections, there are a number of statements that leaders can reflect on, and then colour code depending on whether they think that aspect is something that's just at the beginning stages in their provision or whether it's developing, secure or embedded. So following those discussions and agreements of the judgments, leaders can then identify areas of strength and also next steps within each of the 5 areas and use this information to inform strategic planning. Alternatively, the framework can also be used for leaders who are just at that early stage of considering developing specialist provision, as the statements essentially provide a bit of a guide to the sort of things that will be helpful for you to think about as you're going through that decision-making process. Schools using the framework within EMS have found it really helpful as a way of recording and tracking. It's well structured, it's easy to use, and it provides a really visual way of representing where you feel you are on your journey to developing really high quality specialist provision within your mainstream school.